This is chapter 40. We are in the midst of the life of Joseph. In chapter 39, we looked at Joseph as he was an official in Potiphar's household, how Potiphar's wife attempted to seduce Joseph and told a lie about him. He was thrown into prison, but while in prison, he was made, it says in chapter 39, he really became in charge of all the prisoners. Chapter 40 really tells the story of Joseph's interaction with two prisoners. The cupbearer and baker for the king of Egypt, for Pharaoh, were thrown into prison. And Joseph had regard for them. The two officials, the baker and the cupbearer, had dreams. And Joseph was on hand to interpret them. In verse 8 of chapter 40, it says, "Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell it to me, please." And so the cupbearer told his dream, and Joseph interpreted it and said, "With 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore your office." The baker, however, when he told him his dream, it was just the opposite. "And 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and you will hang on a tree." The only thing he did by showing his kindness to the baker and cupbearer, he asked to be remembered by them. And at the end of the text, it just simply says he was forgotten. So that's really this section of Genesis chapter 40. What do you see in here, Mark?
I want to focus on the latter part and the story of the chief baker, of the cupbearer. I'm sorry. All of us have been in that position. I think he was asked by Joseph to remember him, and we're told at the very end, verse 23, yet the chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph, but forgot him. So he got out of prison. He didn't see him every day, and he forgot to do what he said he would do. All of us have probably been in that situation. We've talked to someone, we've been sympathetic, and I think genuinely so. At least I know I've been in that situation. And I say I'm going to do something, but I get out of it. I'm not around them. My life gets back to normal, and I forget about it. All of us have been there. I think this is just a reminder to us to try harder when we say we're going to do something, to be compassionate and thoughtful to the people to whom we said we would do it, and to make sure we do it. Don't make the mistake of the cupbearer here.
Amen. Well, I find this whole chapter fascinating. I mean, Joseph finds himself in prison, and I put myself in his sandals, and I would think I would be wallowing in self-pity. Woe is me, look at my state in life. But yet, what do we see him do in verse 6? When he came to them in the morning, he observed them, and behold, they were dejected, and he showed compassion. I think that is an amazing selfless act on the part of Joseph, and is an example worthy of our emulation or imitation. We think about the words in Philippians chapter 2, where Paul warns, he says, "Do nothing out of selfish or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interest of others." I think we see that in Joseph.
Yeah. Amen.
So thank you for joining us today and this week. If you have any thoughts on Genesis chapter 40, just let us know. We'd love to hear from you and learn from you as well. Have a great weekend, and hopefully you'll join us next week for the 4-3-2-1.